You've probably stared at a carton of eggs recently, scoffed at the $6 price tag, and blamed the bird flu. But there is a darker reason your breakfast is getting so expensive. The grocery store dairy aisle is designed to look like a collection of independent, pastoral family farms. In reality, a massive portion of the nation's egg supply is controlled by a few multi-billion-dollar agricultural corporations. Recently, major food brands like Kraft, Kellogg, and Nestle won a 12-year legal battle against industry titans like Cal-Maine Foods and Rose Acre Farms, resulting in a $17.7 million payout. A federal jury determined these agricultural giants orchestrated an illegal, calculated conspiracy to rig the price of eggs across the United States. This is the story of how a handful of executives orchestrated a cartel-like chokehold on America's most basic grocery staple. This chart visualizes inelastic demand. Eggs are a staple, so people buy them regardless of price. Drop supply a fraction, and price shoots straight up. To exploit this math, producers restricted supply. Their first tactic, slaughtering productive hens far earlier than their natural life cycle. Next, they intentionally exported millions of eggs overseas at a financial loss. They absorbed the hit on international shipping, specifically to remove those eggs from the domestic market, forcing U.S. prices even higher. Then came the most severe tactic, early molting. Producers intentionally starved their birds, depriving them of food and light to shock their bodies into prematurely halting egg production. These executives realized the fastest path to record profits wasn't producing more food. It was deliberately engineering artificial starvation in the market. The cartel faced an immediate problem. If a group of executives publicly announced they were shrinking the national food supply, government antitrust regulators would instantly shut them down. They needed an alibi. They found it in a program called UEP Certified. To the public, this was marketed as a progressive animal welfare initiative, promising to give hens more humane, spacious living conditions. This animation shows how the mathematical deception worked. By mandating larger cages for the certification, producers legally could not fit as many birds inside their existing barns. It created a strict physical ceiling on how much food they could output. When caught, producers tried to claim immunity by hiding behind the Capper-Volstead Act, an outdated law meant to protect small agricultural cooperatives. The federal courts rejected that defense. During the trial, economists ran massive regression analyses to isolate the UEP certification variables. They proved that the mandated cage restrictions directly caused measurable financial damage to buyers. The egg industry successfully weaponized the public's desire for animal compassion to execute and enforce a mandatory illegal supply chokehold. The federal jury ultimately confirmed that this physical supply stranglehold ran successfully from 2004 to 2008, leading to the $17.7 million verdict. But there is a frustrating caveat to that lawsuit. The millions in damages were awarded entirely to the corporate food giants that bought the eggs in bulk, like Kraft and Nestle. Everyday grocery shoppers didn't see a dime of restitution. The civil lawsuit compensated the corporate buyers for their losses, but it left the actual people at the very end of the supply chain completely unprotected. Fast forward to the modern era. Between 2024 and 2026, egg prices surged again under the guise of bird flu outbreaks. Simultaneously, companies like Cal-Maine posted record-shattering multi-million-dollar profit margins. In response, the U.S. Department of Justice is currently preparing a brand new, massive antitrust lawsuit against these exact same producers. This time, the investigation isn't focused on physical cages. Regulators allege that these agricultural giants are using shared third-party data software to digitally coordinate and inflate prices across the market. The next time you stare at those prices in the dairy aisle, you have to ask, are you paying for the realities of nature or for a strategy the government is once again calling illegal?